It's an Ibanez, Scotty, but not like we know it. So it is an Ibanez LS 300, and the LS stands for Lonestar series. Let me get that out. The finest in handcrafted acoustic guitars. Well, I have to tell you, this is looking like it's going to be a very nice guitar, because the neck is made of mahogany, rosewood on top, of course, and we're going to the body, and the body is made of mahogany as well, which is surprising, and rosewood for the bridge saddle type of thingy. It has ivory nuts, and that's about all I can tell. Sorry, let me correct myself. Slappy fingers. The top is spruce and the back and sides are mahogany. Okay, as you can see, I've loosened the strings off. The saddle's missing. It has a deep score there, which I cannot do anything with. And the neck, as you see, is extremely dirty. The frets look okay, but we'll soon find out about them. The tuners, some of them are a bit loose. We're going to find out about them. Well, that's a little bit loosey. Let's look for other damages. The side. You're looking at the same time as me, you see. The side. Neck has a little chip there. You can feel it. It's on this side though. Oh, this Lucy's got a missing cover. And I might actually have a spare one of those covers. Let's look at the back of the neck now. I'd be interested in finding out what the link to Tom Jones is. If we can find out. I'm not sure we can find out. It may just have to be a mystery. This is going to have to be drilled out and replaced with something. But overall, except for that score on the front, it doesn't look like it's too badly damaged. As you can see, it hasn't been used for a while. And there's a couple of pins missing. So let's go into the inside. I'll take the strings off and we'll go inside. Before we get started, I have to say some sad news. We have to say goodbye to an old friend that's been faithful to us for at least 2 years, but his time has come and I need to give him a proper burial, because he's worn out and he's old and he needs to go away. So let's all say goodbye to this old friend. Okay, that's that done with. Right, this is the guitar we're going to look at, and it's a dreadnought Ibanez, what do they call it, 300 black. It's made in 1984. They're still worth a fair amount of money even these days. Not in tens of thousands, but anything but $250 to $450. And we're going to look at this today. It has, I'm told, some history with Tom Jones. I saw the light on the night that I passed by her window. Not sure what that history is, but there we go. You notice my little string puller router's got a pad on it so that it doesn't scratch anything. This is looking to be a nice guitar. We'll see as we get along if there's anything in the inside that needs to scare me. Let's have a look on the inside. Will the light come on? No, it won't. Right, why won't the light come on? Because it's been switched off up there. Okay. We got the light on. Right, let's look at the struts first. What's back there? Is that just a dead mouse or is it fluff? It looks like fluff. I'm looking first at the struts to see if there's any damage to the struts. Nothing that I can see so far. so it hasn't been terribly abused. Let's just look at the other side. I can't see it now because I'm upside down. So let's just have a look in the mid struts now. They all look pretty good. They all look pretty good. I think what I'm going to do is turn the guitar around so I can see. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, now we're still looking at the top struts to see, make sure that they're not cracked or loose or anything. They all look brilliant. The curving is very well done. There's a dark mark there, but I can't quite make it out what it is. There's been a bit of work put into this, a bit of quality put into this. I like it. And the truss rod on the inside. Okay, truss rod doesn't look to be too badly damaged, so we haven't checked the neck straightness yet. Okay, and we've looked at that side, so let's look at the bottom now and see what we've got there. Nothing exciting. Nothing exciting there. And except for that dead mouse at the back, which is a piece of fluff. Yes, it is. Looks like a dead mouse though, but it's not. Right, okay. All good on the inside. And let me just look up at the pinholes. Where are you? It's a neat enough job too. Look at that. They've done it right without a whole lot of ripping of the wood beneath it. So all in all, that's very good inside. Okay. Okay, let's just look at the nut. See? I think that's a plastic nut. Yeah, it doesn't give the right sound. Let's check the neck straightness. Ooh, I'm impressed. Another neck that's almost perfect. Not as good as that last fender. Slight underbow there, but it's only minuscule and a very slight at the top. So there's nothing to touch on that. Let's check the fret leveling to see if we've got anything on there. I'll speed through this. They all need a little bit of all the way down there, so they need a bit of fret leveling the whole way down. Oh no, not too bad. Now looking closely at the frets, they seem to have been fret leveled and done before, and they're quite low to the guitar, so you'll get another 10 years out of it, but I got a feeling that they have been well worn. Why is that neck not crooked? Let me just see. Yeah, it's crooked. I don't know whether you can see that, but the nut has got a gap in it. And it's crooked, so it needs to be taken off and put on again. Let's just see what we got here. Yeah, a lot of the wood off because they put it on with the wrong kind of glue. So a lot of the wood came off and they used far too much glue. So I can patch that up, but that's not what I wanted. Somebody's been fairly heavy-handed with the glue. I'll show you on the other camera. Just close up. You can see if I take that off, look what's happened. Somebody's gone nutty with the glue, and to put it to the place where it's correct will leave a little bit of gap there, which I will bluff and fill up. But unfortunately, I'm going to keep that on it. This is lecture time. You only need one tiny drop of super glue on the actual rosewood part, not on the neck part. Somebody has put a full blob of super glue on that. But it's their guitar, so they can do what they want. So when I'm putting that back on, I'll tidy it all up. Very unfortunate, but it does prove that it's a mahogany neck. Ha! It's actually been bent. Ooh, yes, that's right. Can you see it? It's been bent, so maybe if I straighten it, I'll straighten it first and then come back to you, because it needs to be this way, and that might do the job. Okay, come back to you soon. Well, there you go. All I had to do is a pair of pliers and get it straight, and now it's not loose at all. It needs a little drop now of oil on it, because it's a bit stiff, if anything. But I'm sure I have a cover for it. Has that been cracked? I think there's a little bit of a crack there. Just there where my finger is, you can see a crack. Somebody maybe tightened it down too much, thinking that they were doing the right thing. Well, I can bluff up that crack though, and it is bluff. It's not going to be a serious problem unless somebody comes along and, well, I can't see it being a serious problem even if somebody does something stupid. They'll break the whole top off, if anything. Right, that's a bit better, yeah. Not perfect, but much better. I'll see if I can find a cover for it now. The nut has come off the top. The shield for it. Right, back whenever I see if I can find a cover. Well, that was annoying. A good hour and a half. I ended up having to sort out all my tuner parts, and I found ones with a single ridge on them, but they're the wrong way around. They don't fit. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to make that hole bigger to fit, which I will do, and I'm going to do it now. And then I'm going to put all this stuff away that I had to sort out. We're going to get this neck working properly and get it level. So what I'm using is just 800 on this metal bar. I peel these off because they're double-sided and stick them on again once they're worn. Frets look good. Let's just get some lemon oil on them and let it sit on it for a while. Push it in. And I have to use my usual disclaimer that this is mineral oil and it's got no harmful characteristics to it for your hands. I would recommend you wear gloves, but this is mineral oil which people put on their faces and their bums, and I'm sure other things. But that's a story for a different channel. Right, okay. I'm going to leave that on for about 5 minutes and come back to you. Just giving the body a clean while the lemon oil is on. I use a little bit of lemon oil on this too. Okay, the rest of what I'm going to be doing is cleaning, and I don't think it's worth you sitting there watching me clean, is it? So I'll come back to you when I've cleaned the guitar. Alright? Don't cry. Object in the comments below if you want to see me cleaning guitars. I can't see why you'd want to, but you never know. That's a nice looking neck. That's the strings ready. We have a bridge that's almost ready. It's just a bit too fat, so I'm using my tool. I've shown that to you many times before, and I'm just going to bring it down, 180 grit sandpaper, and just keep trial and error bringing this down, and then I'm going to put it in, and then I'll come back to you. There you go. I have the nut in. It needs some more adjusting, but I'll do the adjusting in place, just like you do just like I do the nut. When I put the string in, then I can bring that down if I need to. But I'm just going to string the guitar now, and then I'll come back to you when it's strung. Well, there you are. Strings on. I had to reduce the nut down on the top 3 strings because moving that nut inward had raised this side. I had thought again, but you'd never think this. If I had run a Stanley knife around down the side of that nut before I tried to take it off, the wood would have broken without going into the head. But how am I supposed to know when to do that? Because you wouldn't want to run a Stanley knife down every one, because you can't see anything wrong with this. But running a Stanley knife down every one, maybe I'll look at it in future, but I don't think that would work on an acoustic guitar each time, because you would score it and then you'd have to hide that score each time. Anyway, we'll find for the next time. Now, eagle-eyed people will spot that whatever happened, I put a new set of strings on, right? Right? But the D string broke on me, and I don't know whether it was my fault or the string's fault or the tuner head's fault up there, but I had to replace it, and I didn't have a set of strings identical, and I wasn't going to open up a brand new set of strings just to steal the D, so I opened up a brand new set of 13s that I don't tend to use very often, and I used the D string from that. It's silver compared to bronze. Well, if that's going to be good enough for the client, that's fine. If not, then you just change it. There is one little last job I've got to do, and I've got to take that off and replace it. And I'm going to do that with a drill bit. Gently, because that would be causing problems if you made it rough. I think I'm going to have to drill through that. Now I feel some wood coming out, so obviously you know, I could get at that if I, oh, there we go, it's going in. Right, it's going in. Now I need a plug to fit that there, but it's going to have a bit of wood in it, and I'm going to have to plug that with some wood, so I'll come back to you when I put a plug in there. Who wants to watch this anyway? So that's it tight, so all I'm going to do is mark it a little bit with a pencil, and then when I hammer it in, it should go flush. I'm not going to hammer it in yet. It's a good bit of hardwood. So that's all I'm going to do. I'll cut this. Okay. I had to do that twice because for some reason I cut it too short. Why? I don't know. It was marked with a pen and everything. But all I'm going to do now is put a little bit of wood glue around there. It doesn't have to be that fussy, but a little bit of wood glue. And then put in the thing and then tap. And go flush for me, please. Beautiful. And then it's not scratched and it's not dirty. And I'm going to leave that for an hour or two before I put another, maybe leave it tomorrow. Okay. I just pulled that out of the body. It's actually just a plastic roll plug, or AWL plug, and they hadn't put it in right, because it would have worked if you put a long enough screw in and it catches that end and then it pulls that up and pulls it against the back of the, but that's the wrong thing for it. You're better plugging it and putting the thing in properly. It was even worse than that, so it was. You remember this? But they actually had another roll plug stuffed in the end of that to try to make it smaller for a smaller screw to go in. It was probably stuffed in at this end like that. An awful lot of effort instead of putting a wooden plug in. Did I show you that? And stuffed in like that. I can't see whether they're in focus or not. So two raw plugs stuck in together. Anyway, c'est la vie. There we are. You never see my mug normally. There you go. Anyway, it's looking good. It's a lovely guitar. Think if I had my way, I would buy a little bit better tuners, because those old style tuners, they're okay. They work. They're not bad, but I think they could do with better ones. And it's got the thing in the back. The dent, you see the score, couldn't do anything with it. It's still needing polished, final polish. But it's all looking good. Everything's looking fine. There you go. And it's sounding good too. I think it should be in tune. Let's just check. It says it's in perfect tune. Nice rich tone, good country guitar, I'd say. Yeah. Oh, here comes Georgie girl to get in on the act. Right. Now I'm going to play a little bit of a tune that you won't know, but if I can remember it now. But you got to guess what it is. The first two chords should tell you. It's a 60s song, right? Right, can you remember what that song is, just with those chords? I think you need to be a little bit older, but that chord progression there. Now you should know that, but I'm 74, so we'll see what you're like. Now just let you hear my favorite song chord. Just check the tuning again. It actually sounds very nice in my favorite chord, C major 7th, because this is nice sharp tones. Does sound lovely, doesn't it? Okay, on that note, I'll leave you. Lovely guitar. Going back to daddy now, once I give that a little bit of polish here.